Okay, so in ICP, unfortunately, in the last couple of hours, we got a move on the downside. And in today's video, which is going to come out in about a couple of hours, I'm going to tell you what if in internet computer and also a lot of altcoins, we actually take this low right in here, which was caused by a serious liquidation event. And I'm going to answer a very important question. In case that we are going to take this low, what is going to happen after it? Can we expect some big moves on the downside, or maybe just a very small move down, and after it we are going to start a new uptrend? So with that said, hi everyone, welcome back. I hope you're having a great time with your family and loved ones. And in ICP, in this move on the downside, if you go on some charts, for example, I think it was Binance's one, you see that we have actually taken this low. However, on this chart, which is from crypto.com, we haven't taken it, but that doesn't really matter. Let's say even in internet computer, we have taken this low. What are our options at that point? Are we going to have a big move down, or maybe something else is going to be in play in ICP and also the whole altcoin market? Now, in internet computer itself, because in terms of classic technical analysis, meaning support and resistances, we are at the moment around a very important support, which is from weekly and daily time frame. At the same time, I can tell you that downsides, in my opinion, are going to be extremely limited. And you want to remember that the higher band of this region by itself is actually a very important weekly time frame support. So there is actually a decent chance that we might get our bounce back from here and start a decent uptrend. Now, if you do not care about the short-term price action and you just do not want to be involved, then okay, you must wait a bit more and see a big move up in ICP in order to reclaim this important resistance area between, let's say, $8.5 to about $10. If we get a break of this thing, at that point, the road on the upside is going to be much more clear, and we can talk bullish in ICP for the next couple of months with a hell of a lot of more confidence. So in terms of what is going to be next for ICP itself, I would like to argue that we are very close to hit some sort of a bottom. And if we are going to have a move on the downside, I don't really expect ICP to go a whole lot lower than the current point. For example, a 10 to 15% move I think is reasonable, but probably not a whole lot more than that. Now, in case of what is going to happen for the whole altcoin market, that might be a bit of a different story, because each altcoin at the moment is kind of in a different place. For example, if you look at XLM's chart, recently we had a big move on the upside, and if we are going to have, for example, a decent move down in Bitcoin, well, I'm going to guess in XLM we are probably going to have like a 30 to even 40% move down. That is realistic in my opinion. However, in other charts, for example, Chainlink, AVAX, ICP, even I would say Algorand, we are at the moment around some very important weekly and daily time frame support areas, and I do think in those charts we are not really going to see a whole lot of downward price action, but we are going to see some moves on the downside. And this is, I think, the key. You need to pay very close attention to what is happening in Bitcoin dominance. So if you remember, a couple of weeks ago, I made a video about this chart, Bitcoin dominance, when we were right in here. And I was saying the fact that we got this strong move up and filled this gap, in my opinion, is a very good sign. And I can now tell you that we really do not have any unfinished business around here, and we can get a very strong move down, but nothing goes straight up or down. I said when we were around here, I'm expecting a move up in BTC.D in order to fill some gaps which were created as a result of this strong rejection happening a bit too fast. And I still kind of stand by what I said, especially because this to me seems like an ABC down, and also this whole move up is a correction structure. So there is a chance that we may have like an A correction for wave B, and for example like a 1 2 3 4 5 wave up into our ceiling. The fact that in daily time frame, in terms of indicators, it seems like that we want to get a buy signal in MACD in Bitcoin dominance kind of confirms my bullish scenario in this chart, suggesting that in the short term we are going to have a move on the upside. And maybe if you want to say that in the next phase up in BTC.D, we are going to take this high. Okay, at that point, there's actually going to be a decent chance that we may end up having a negative divergence between MACD and the price action, meaning this is going to be a high. The other one is going to be a lower high. However, on the live chart, again, if you believe that we are going to take this high about 64.5%, well, okay, we are going to have a high. The other one is going to be a higher high, which is going to be a very, very important bearish sign, suggesting that a very strong move down will come soon, especially because at the same time, we are going to be around this very, very important resistance area. Now, during this phase on the upside in Bitcoin dominance, if Bitcoin is going to go down, well, unfortunately, you are going to see some altcoins go down big time. On the other hand, if from here in BTC, we are going to have a move on the upside, well, okay, I'm going to guess that in the short term, at least, altcoins are not really going to do a whole lot, and that will cause Bitcoin dominance to go up. And in the next phase, I'm expecting a move down. And hopefully at that point, it's going to be time to have a great altcoin season. So let's have our final conclusion and wrap up today's video about ICP. In the whole altcoin market, at the moment, we are having two groups. The first group is the altcoins that are having in the last couple of weeks a move on the downside, and they haven't really done a whole lot. The second group are the ones that had actually a big move up and right now are forming some sort of a consolidation pattern. Now, if Bitcoin dominance is going to go up, and let's assume that in BTC we are going to have a move on the downside, that means altcoins overall are going to go down a bit harder than Bitcoin. But I'm gonna guess the ones that in the last couple of weeks were actually in a downtrend already are not really going to do a whole lot, but it's actually going to be the second group that had a big move up in this phase, and you may actually see some big moves on the downside in those odds. And where is ICP in here? ICP is actually in the first group. So what I'm trying to say is this: I believe in Bitcoin dominance, we might see a move on the upside, but for coins like ICP that haven't really done a whole lot in the last couple of weeks, and let's say even the last couple of months, I don't expect them to go a whole lot lower, but at the same time, it doesn't mean that they are going to go up in this phase big time. No, I think we may unfortunately see some chopping around in a whole lot of altcoins, and then it is going to be time to hopefully in this phase get some strong moves on the upside. So if you are looking for some big moves up, I think you need to wait a bit more. And again, I want to be very clear. This doesn't mean that in internet computer, because we're not going to have a move up, we're going to get big moves down. No, this is just simply not the case. So I hope I explained everything well and you understood what is going on in ICP's price chart. Anyway, if you found any value in my content, I would really appreciate if you like this video and consider subscribing to my channel and follow me on Twitter. And if you want more, maybe you want a complete analysis for your own specific crypto, or maybe you want to learn some decent TA in order to be able to make good money in the markets, you can become a member and ask me anything you want. And until the next video, I hope you have a wonderful time. Goodbye.